Murder on the Mind. Written by L. Bartlett. Narrated by Stephen Barnett. Chapter 1. Something walloped me in the gut. A hit without substance, without pain. It sucked me from the here and now to a vacant place where a hollow wind brushed my ears. I waited. There, in my peripheral vision, coming out of the mist, an animal, a deer, a buck. I blinked and was back in the bar, bending over the felt-lined table. "You gonna shoot or not?" Marty growled. My fingers tightened around the cue, which stopped their sudden trembling. I held my breath as I made the shot. The cue ball kissed the 6 and sent it into the left corner pocket. I straightened, trying to hide the unexpected panic churning my insides. "That's another $5 you owe me." Marty chewed the unlit stub of his cigar, fumbled with his wallet, and dug out a crisp $5 bill, slapping it onto the table. "Double or nothing." I needed to get out of there, to think about what had just happened to me. "I'd love to, but I start a new job first thing in the morning." I snatched up my winnings and replaced the cue stick on the wall rack. O'Shea's smoky, blue-collar friendliness had been a haven from boredom and loneliness, reminding me of the taverns back home in Buffalo. Only it was pool, not darts, that drew the Sunday night crowd. "Go ahead, leave," Marty grumbled, gazing down the length of his cue. "But be back here, same time next week. Me and the boys are gonna win back everything you've taken from us." His brake shot went wild. He should have stuck with darts. "In your dreams," I said, and shrugged into my leather bomber jacket. "Are you leaving so soon, Jeffrey?" Pretty Annie McBride, an Irish lass of about 25 with a killer smile, hefted a tray of drinks as she served a couple at a nearby table. "Have to, darling." "And when are you going to ask me out? I'm not getting any younger, you know." I eyed her appreciatively, but considered my thin wallet. "Soon." "I'll be collecting Social Security at this rate." "Forget him, Annie," said Ian from behind the bar. "Find yourself a nice Irish boy." He winked at her. "I'm half Irish," I countered to a round of laughter from Ian and the regulars. "My mother was an O'Connor. You can't get much more Irish than that." "Never you mind them, Jeffrey," Annie said. "But don't wait too long, or I will find me some nice Irish lad." Annie smiled kindly and headed for the kitchen. I watched the door swing shut behind her. Marty and another patron were already engrossed in a new game as I headed for the exit. "Good night, all." A chorus of goodbyes followed as I left the pub. I set off at a brisk pace, heading for my apartment 3 blocks away. A March thaw had melted the snow, but the temperature had plunged back to freezing, and the bracing air soon cleared my head. The pub had been overheated and reeked of stale beer and sweat. No wonder I'd zoned out. I thought of the cash in my wallet. Maybe my good luck at pool would stay with me when I started the job at Metropolitan Life. My unemployment benefits were about to end, so I'd been desperate to take the entry-level insurance claims job. Hands stuffed in my pockets, I watched my feet as I walked. After I got that first paycheck, I'd ask Annie out. It had been months since I'd had any feminine companionship, and celibacy is highly overrated. I just hoped Annie's friendliness wasn't a put-on to get a good tip. Traffic was sparse as I crossed 3rd, the sidewalk empty as I headed past the caged-in businesses that lined the street. I was usually cautious, but thoughts of the new job and what had happened at the bar distracted me as I dodged the miniature skating rinks on the cracked pavement. The next day would be nerve-wracking. New names, new faces. Probably a backlog of case files, too. "Hey, dude, got some spare change?" A large, silhouetted figure blocked the sidewalk. Oh, shit. A gust of frigid wind grazed my cheek. I jammed my hands deeper into my jacket pockets and tried to get past him. "Hey, asshole, I'm talking to you." The hefty teenager stepped into the lamplight, grabbed my jacket. Another figure emerged from the darkened doorway of a closed deli. Though shorter, the other kid brandished a worn baseball bat, looking just as threatening. I avoided his glare and the challenge in it. In spite of the freezing cold, I broke into a sweat as I pulled away from the kid's grasp. "Hey, guys, I don't want any trouble." "Then give us your money."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?